See Red Nation, what's good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again, and I'm here to tell you how benching Coby and Wendell will improve the Chicago Bulls. Let's talk about it starting now. And if you are new to the channel, please like the video, please subscribe to the page because we do talk Chicago sports weekly. We don't want you to miss a thing, so make sure that you hit that bell. So last night we saw the first game with Coby White and Wendell coming off of the bench, and to say the least, it was a very interesting game. Now, got to take it with a grain of salt. It was versus the Raptors team that has been very up and down this season, that is going through a lot of issues with the COVID protocols, and so, you know, did the Bulls win? Is it a good win? Absolutely, but you've got to take it with a grain of salt because it's just like, all right, well, yeah, they won, but let's see them do it versus a team that's actually competing for something right now. But there were some very key takeaways that I noticed with the benching of Wendell and Coby that I think will really improve the Bulls for the long run. The first thing to me, especially when coming to Wendell coming off of the bench, that I noticed is that he is just more effective when he's coming off of the bench, usually at about 6 minutes in, kind of when Thad was, because you think about when Thad was coming in. Thad was coming in when those lineups would shuffle, and then you're getting the backup center, you're getting the backup four into the game, you're getting usually a small ball type of lineup, let's go to small ball, let's try to be a little bit quicker. And I think that Wendell's actually better on the floor based on what we saw last night. And just moving forward, I think we all think that Wendell's more of a 4 than a 5 anyway, so playing against those smaller ball lineups kind of will help his game. It seemed like he was more confident versus the backups. Now that could be a response to being benched, but it seems like he was more confident going in there playing against that second unit, and he was able to get to the ball more. He was able to be more effective with his shot selection. He was able to be more effective on both sides of the glass, and it seemed to me like he was able to build his confidence more off of that. Now again, we want to see you do that against more consistent big men, you know what I'm saying, when you're going up against a Joel Embiid or a Nikola Jokic, but baby steps with him, because apparently building confidence is huge in his game. He even said in his press conference last night, he believes that everything he's gone through has been mental. He's let kind of the off the court things dictate his game, probably what people have said in papers and different things like that, and probably also some personal matters in his life too. But you know, he lets the other things get in his head, and then it throws him off his game. That is huge. So seeing him be able to come in last night and really just build up his confidence versus that second unit to be a better big man, it really looked very cohesive with what the Bulls were trying to do, and it allowed him to be more aggressive to me in the game. Now before I continue with the video, I want to know you guys' opinion. Let me know in the comments below, how do you think the benching of Coby and Wendell will improve this Bulls team, or do you think it will improve them? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you as well. Now as far as how Coby White's game, I think it just speaks more to his game. Let's be real. Coby is a scorer, and when you have, you know, you had Zach and Coby on the floor, it didn't seem cohesive at any point, and it just seemed like, okay, now we got to figure out who's gonna score, who's gonna get the ball. It seemed like it would turn into very one-on-one kind of possessions, and I think that would kill the Bulls' momentum moving forward. The one thing that I like about moving Coby to the bench, even the fact that, you know, everybody's like, he's gonna be a Jamal Crawford, he's gonna be a Lou Will, a 6-man kind of guy. Listen, we saw last night he's still running that point guard position, but he's still looking to get his teammates open. But you can do that more off of that driving kick, being that bench point guard. You can do that more when you're able to come out and just put up shots, you know what I'm saying? And people have to worry about you focusing on scoring first, like we've been saying the entire season. Allow Coby White to be a scorer first, and then allow the facilitating to feed off of that. And I think that we saw a little bit of that last night, especially when he was in there versus Kyle Lowry. He was kind of looking to attack, and then all of a sudden the defense collapses on him, and boom, he's kicking it out to the corner for a wide open 3 for Denzel Valentine. And with him being, you know, that scoring type of guard, with him coming off of the bench, he said in his press conference last night as well that, you know, it felt good because he was getting plays called for him. He was the focal point of the offense at that point. And I think that improves the Bulls bench threefold, especially with Otto Porter not being as effective as he has been coming off of injury. And of course, you know, kind of not really being able to count on him consistently being there because of injury. Listen, if you move Coby to that bench point guard role and he's able to come off and get you 15, 20 at a time, you know what I'm saying? Like Coby's a bunch scorer. Like Coby will come in and drop off 10, and then you put him back on the bench, and he comes back in, he'll give you another 5. You know what I'm saying? So if you allow him to kind of grow into that bench point guard role, I think that we all wanted at the beginning of the season him to be that starting guard, but the facilitating just didn't fit with what we were trying to do, and so that's where Sato fits in that starting lineup. But Coby can be the spark that this bench needs, because there would be moments where the bench would come in with Thad and Sato and they'd be playing great defense, but they couldn't get the offense itself going, and so you kind of had to mix in those starters with it. Now I think if you've got the bench out there, kind of like what you saw last night, if you've got Otto out there along with Coby White, it puts 2 scoring threats on the floor, and I think that only improves Coby's game. And it's not somebody who kind of plays the same game as him. You know, Zach's game style now much better, but they're essentially trying to do the same things. They're trying to attack the basket, put the ball in the bucket, and shoot threes. With Coby being paired up with Otto and Wendell off the bench, there's enough of a difference and a nuance into the game that it causes Coby White to be the focal point of the offense, and I love that. Now, as far as it improves the team overall, like I said, it gives you a spark off the bench, but I think you saw last night the Bulls kind of got off to a slow scoring start, and they were able to bounce back because of the improved defense that was on the floor. Normally we've seen in these games, we saw in the Philly game, kind of a game where, I'm gonna be real with you, it was a game that just didn't have a lot of heart in it, didn't have a lot of fight in it. But if you look at the Philly game, when the Bulls got down, it was because they weren't able to score, but Philly was able to score easily. And so then you look up and you're like, are we really down 15 right now? And you got to fight your way back into the game. I think last night you saw that both teams kind of got off to a slow scoring start, but on the one end, the Bulls are, you know, scoring very slowly, but they're able to continue to fight, because on the defensive end now out there, you've got P. Will, Thad, Sato, 3 guys who all do a pretty good job of staying in front of their man and contesting on defense, along with the improved defense of Zach LaVine. We saw some of that out there as well, and I think that's a difference maker when you're talking about you get down early and you need to keep the other team from getting too far ahead of you. With this new starting lineup, I mean, essentially Lowry is playing the 5 in this new kind of lineup. Now it's positionless basketball, but I mean, if you're going up against a bigger guy, you know, Lowry's going to end up playing on Jokic. He's going to end up playing on Embiid. Those bigger centers, when just the taller centers more so, but I mean, if you look at how that 5 defensively is set up, you've literally got 3 of the 5 guys, and with Zach's improved defense, you could say 4 of the 5 guys who are able to not only go out and score, not only able to go out and set up Zach to be a better scorer, but also able to go out and, if the ball's not going in the hoop like we kind of saw last night, on the other end, they're able to slow down what's happening enough for you to get yourself back into the game, or get yourself going to a point where you're able to attain a lead. The other thing for me, as far as the starting lineup, is that you also have 5 guys out there who are very good at moving the ball around, at facilitating the ball. So you know Sato's going to be able to find the open man. You know that Thad's going to be able to find the open man. You know Lowry can put it on the ground and find the open. And so you've got literally 5 guys out there who are willing to pass the ball and who are able to, and I think you saw last night, you know, everybody would say, oh, Zach's not going to pass the ball if it comes to him. Zach was, hey, the shot's not falling. Let me let my teammates eat. That's what a guy who's willing to put the team above his own accolades, his own numbers does. And it really shows that Billy's got these guys thinking about winning more so than being in all-star games, being MVPs of the league. He's got these boys thinking about winning. And so if they're able to continue at this pace, if they're able to continue doing what they do, I mean, it looked good versus the Raptors. Let's see how it looks versus some of these tougher teams that you're going to continue playing. And the Bulls will get more more of a test this coming game versus OKC, so can't wait to see that. But I want to know how you guys feel. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think that the benching of Coby and Wendell will improve this Chicago Bulls team? I'll be down there talking with you as well. As always, it is your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again to continue watching our Chicago Bulls content. Click the links here or check the links in the description below. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.